Hi Virgo, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. This will take us from the 11th to the 18th of March, and I hope this finds you well, guys, okay? Interesting time, Mercury retrograde, 29 degrees, the most karmic sign in the whole zodiac. Talks about the ending of a cycle and a brand new chapter of our lives beginning. But it's going to be this way for a few weeks, so expect delays, expect frustrations, and begin to see your life through the veil of acceptance. That belief that every single thing is evolving in perfect timing in a perfect way. Oh, you got the new life card. Oh, probably my favourite card. It sort of represents, you know, that Easter energy of emerging from an incubation period and something new birthing. I am so excited now for your reading. The readings have been hard this week. You can probably hear it in my voice, but there's a reason why. It's about old stories, Virgo, want to come to an end. Mercury retrograde on Pisces, 29 degrees, is the end of old suffering, the end of old stories that we've told ourselves. That's what wants to happen here. And if we fail to understand the message, we can continue the suffering, or we can move forward to a brand new life. Come on, Virgo. You get the esoteric rules. I always tell you, until the world gets to understand the Virgo energy, we don't evolve. That's just the way it is in esoteric law, because Virgo is about that we live in a holy land. It's a sacred space, and so are we. And that's what Virgo represents, and most of us have forgotten that. But let's see what the 6 cards. That was a bit of an intense beginning to your reading, Virgo. So 6 cards, please. What is this new life that Virgo is beginning to feel? Because it's so time for you to stand up and claim your power, so this world can move on. So what's behind you? Page of Cups. Chariot, lovely. Challenge, Queen of Cups, okay, yeah. Oh, the Judgment card in your relationship house. Something might just be coming back from the dead. The Judgment card is about regeneration. New Life card, very, very similar. Yeah, so you think of Easter, we've been in the dark winter, haven't we? That's what new life is, and I know we're not at Easter yet, but that's what the Judgment card is about. It's almost just when you think everything's lost, bang, comes this new life and this new energy. Okay? 4 of Cups is the outcome. That's a bit... I'm not worried about the 4 of Cups as a strange old card, though. The one that I find the hardest to explain, because you can't really put the 4 of Cups into words, because it's, you're staring at this cup, Virgo. Actually, you can't do anything else but stare at this cup, which is probably this page, but there's no action happening. I don't think we're in an action period, and maybe I'll ask for an advice for you for this 4 of Cups. What's advice for the 4 of Cups, please? The Moon, yeah. It's not an active phase, guys. And we're not astrologically either. But boy, you've got some beautiful cards already. I mean, the Chariot as the gift. The Chariot's a card of an awful lot of personal mastery, because it represents our conscious and our unconscious moving in the same direction. And really, Virgo, that's when our life shift. So often, we're a ball of conflicts. We say we want one thing, but we act on another, or vice versa. So our reality gets quite messy, but really what's messy is we have got so many different impulses and we're trying to manage them all. The Chariot's a mastery card because you've got your direction and you're going forward in it. Now what's behind you is this Page of Cups. So there might be some sort of emotional offer, some sort of emotional potential. The Page carries the Ace, but he's still carrying it in a really sort of childlike potential, yeah. And the challenge is getting the Page to a Queen. So there's a little bit of a mix mash of energy here, but that's the way it's meant to be. The Page is meant to be a page, the Knight is meant to be a knight. When we're trying to push something too fast, it means we're coming from a place of lack. Never a good idea, and especially when the Chariot is a gift. Come from a place of wholeness, Virgo. Believe in yourself, basically. The past is gone. It can hurt me no more, which means you can turn up for the present and enjoy the Page for what it is. Yeah, very interesting here. Judgment card, how other people are showing up for you. This is something coming back that you thought was lost. Second chances, third chances, the karmic slate has been cleaned. Always, when the Judgment card shows up for people, I always know they've been in one hell of a process, because it's the other side of the Death card, basically. So it means that you've been having to deal with letting go, grieving, being in the shadow parts of our life. I call it Hades for all of you to get readings with me. And when we're in the Hades, it's like, oh my gosh, you're just managing. Judgment is you coming out into the light, very, very much like this new life energy. Absolutely beautiful. The Judgment card, the Justice card is right under the Chariot card. This is about, essentially, we reap what we sow. So, I think some of you, because of the rest of the cards, or maybe sowing, sowing a little bit of good here. Ace of Cups. Now, I don't particularly believe in good and bad karma, because bad things lead to good things and good things lead to bad things. Life is so complex. The laws of nature, the laws of karma are really simple, by the way, but the law of what is good and bad is not. But my Ace of Cups is simply the eye of the divine coming through and sort of shining its light on you, Virgo, out of the Justice card. So some of you are about to reap some really, really nice stuff. Some really, really good stuff. The trick is not to rush to the Queen, but to allow what wants to emerge to happen. And we can only do that if we are coming from a place of completeness within ourselves, because lack wants to make things happen, and completeness allows things to happen. It's very much what true Virgo energy stands for, and that's what, as a humanity, we all need to incorporate. It's a divine feminine, essentially, who allows and doesn't push, because there's nothing to push, because there's nothing to get. And this is the way that we should always be loving, Virgo. We should always be loving from a place of innocence, that holy grail. And this is sort of what the message is about. I feel quite weepy with this reading. The outcome, funnily, is the Four of Cups. So the Ace is still there. The Ace. Got it 3 times, the Ace. And the Queen, which is your challenge. But there's no movement. Yeah. Just staring. Obviously these 3 cups are standing, which means, Virgo, you might have other things on your mind. And because it's from the Moon card, maybe other attachments. But there's a deeper message with that 4 of Cups. It's about not taking action. That maybe you can't take action because you can't. Because the Moon card is a process card. It's about being in night time, and things don't become illuminated till you get to the sun. But when you're in the Moon, it's about embracing what is. It's about being at peace with the unknown. And when we're not in peace with the unknown, it means we're still, your head's still scrambling around a past that needs to be laid down. So why is this 4 of Cups? I mean, the 4 of Cups is definitely about the Moon card, so it's about being in the period of unknown, but the cup's not going away. And Virgo, between me and you can't take your eyes off that goddamn cup. Look. It's preoccupying you completely. But there's not a lot of action, and the Moon card is a non-action card. It's about embracing this divine mystery which is called our lives. And anything that prevents you doing that, Virgo, is that sense of uncompleteness within you. And that's where your attention needs to go. And it's a struggle for you to embrace uncertainty. I feel it, and one more card for you, Virgo. Tell me one more card about why these are showing up. Give me a minute, guys. Now you've got the Knight of Cups. So you've got the Queen, the Page, and the Knight. This is clearly about new love, by the way. There's going to be some reason that you're not acting and you're just looking at this cup. And it's because of the Moon card, which is being in the cycle of embracing the dark. Yeah? A lot of people don't like the Moon card because they don't like being in the dark. But we need to be able to see in the dark. That is our job, to be able to navigate our way through that. And when we're at peace with that, Virgo, we really, really are not far off the top of that mountaintop. And we pretty much stay in a state of joy just about all the time. There's a lot of cards about being in that very, very deep, deep, sacred feminine, which is always about love, always about allowing, never about pushing, never about anything harsh like that, but very much about love. But this is also about allowing love to build in its own time and not trying to force it. The reason why our world is so insane is because so much forcing. And say no more. I think if any sign that knows that, it has to be Virgo. This is a week about love. And if you're at that 4 of Cups and just staring at it, just be in the 4 of Cups and just stare at it. And just be okay with that. But just make sure you're not doing it because you fear taking action. But, so it's not through fear, but through, no, I'm at peace where I am. And then this is how reality changes. We need to be at peace with our lives as it is before anything changes. Very, very beautiful reading. Don't over push anything, Virgo. That's my message. Enjoy the process. I wish it was my reading. But oh my gosh, now you've got the King of Cups. Just let it unfold and be at ease, okay? Loads of love, Virgo. Bye.